Did you feel the mountains tremble? Did you hear the oceans roar? When the people rose to sing of Jesus Christ the risen one.
We saw Lake Tanganyika for the first time in the year 2000. Standing on a hilltop overlooking the numerous villages randomly dispersed along the shorelines, and viewing the scenic beauty of the lake was breathtakingly beautiful. We have obviously stumbled across Zambia's best-kept secret. Tanganyika is the second deepest lake in the world, lying at 758 meters above sea level. Although it is 640 kilometers long, the lake is only 64 kilometers across at its greatest width and has a steamer service with Kigoma in Tanzania and Bujumbura in Burundi. It was during the second day of our stay that a vision was born to reach the people around the shorelines of this vast expanse of water. It came to our attention that the Jehovah's Witnesses are putting a vehicle on the SS Lehemba every Friday with literature. At the time, their target was a war-torn Burundi. We immediately felt deeply stirred to do something, to raise our voices for the true gospel and the triune God in this remote and neglected region of our continent. We spent years praying about and researching this mammoth task, and in the beginning of 2005, our first team was placed at Mpulungu, Zambia's only harbour town. Here we have found life a constant hustle and bustle of seemingly endless activity. Young and old, men and women, roam the main streets, marketplaces and lakeshore. In this harbour town, life mainly centres around the fishing industry, and with 1/8 of the lake falling within Zambia, it is huge, providing an important source of income to the people. Consequently, it has attracted people from all walks of life, traders from neighbouring countries, local marketeers and fishermen, truck drivers, other supporting businesses, and then the affluent businessmen from as far as Oman and Greece are all buying and selling, wheeling and dealing, whether the fish is fresh, dried, or coming from fish farms. These foreigners brought to Mpulungu more than just their business skills. Their religion soon followed. The society is therefore hugely impacted in all areas by the industry, the opening and closing of the fishing season dictating its every move and mood. When there is much fish, hopes are high and money flows freely. Prostitutes are in high demand and men easily get married, sometimes to wife number 2 or 3. Then life is good and tomorrow's rent and school fees easily paid. But with mum the whole day at the market selling fish and dad somewhere catching fish for a month or 2, there is little for the children to be excited about. And then, when the season closes, boredom eventually sets in, tempers flare, and money is just never enough, no matter how far you try to make it go. Suddenly divorce rates skyrocket and adulteries turn sour. Once again, it is the children that suffer most. Other social problems also abound, and I would like to highlight a few. In general, the health care is inadequate. A doctor used to visit the town once a week. Currently, they are working on getting one there on a full-time basis. With waste being thrown literally everywhere, cholera is also an ever-present threat. When an outbreak occurs on one of the islands, it is a real dilemma, both for the government and the patients. Orphans and street children pose the other great challenge, as it has become increasingly difficult for the extended families to support their ever-growing numbers. They also create endless problems to the council, sleeping everywhere and often eating from the rubbish heaps. The Muslims have quickly identified this need and are paying school fees for many of these children. making sure that one day they will be grateful followers of Islam. Existing schools are overcrowded, teachers are few, children are poor, and thus you see only the gifted few succeeding. Apart from this ever-growing Muslim influence on society, Mpulungu is also in the grips of a number of sects of which the Jehovah's Witnesses is the strongest. In contrast, the few evangelical churches are far dispersed. In some you will find only one member among 50 owning a Bible. And for those wanting something more traditional, there is a polygamous church with its doors wide open to new followers. Life in this fishing community therefore proved quite a challenge to our young pioneers. With business the name of the game, people have little time for spiritual matters. Despite this, their cell group at the market grew quickly and is regularly attended. On the home front, fetching water initially took a huge effort, but also helped to keep them in touch with the people they were trying to reach. Even though we are in the beginning stages of establishing a base at Mpulungu, our real aim is reaching the many villages along the shores. These show little signs of the arrival of the 21st century. Arable soil is hard to find. Literacy levels are dangerously low. In some parts, churches non-existent. Witchcraft and darkness ever-present. Malaria as common as flu, and boredom a way of life. From the Congolese shores we have been hearing for some time now about children as young as 10 years, walking around with guns, a law unto themselves. Therefore, at the center of our ministry will be a boat that will place teams of church planters along the shores of Congo, Burundi and Tanzania, in these remote villages and islands. Please pray for us as we are in the process of acquiring a suitable vessel and a plot of land where it can be docked. This dream of ours has been wonderfully confirmed when we came across the history of the Good News, launched in 1885 by the London Mission Society in response to a plea by David Livingstone. It is our prayer that the Good News too will restore life in abundance to the neglected peoples around the shorelines of this beautiful lake in the heart of Africa.
Jesus Christ, the risen one. Thank you. Did you feel the people tremble? Did you hear the singers roar? When the lost began to sing of Jesus Christ the Savior.